This is the m.o.d.o.k issue 607. It's part of Fall of the m.o.d.o.ks. And look, we have got Red She-Hulks, and she is fighting m.o.d.o.k's son, because this was during the time when Marvel thought it would be a great idea to have about 10 different m.o.d.o.ks running around. It wasn't, it was a bad idea, and Red She-Hulks is absolutely terrible. One of the worst Marvel characters around. She is shit. The plot of this crossover is that a group of super smart evil baddies called the Intellectuals, they are kidnapping the Marvel Universe's smartest people. And they have already caught Mr. Fantasticals, and here they have dealt with Mr. Doom. And now it is time for Aunt Gordon. This is during the period where Aunt Gordon was being written really well by Dan Slott of all people. And this does a fairly good job of upholding his take on the character. Aunt Gordon is shown to be really competent and clever, even in the face of the baddies battling wits with him. And then we have also got an appearance from the Avengers, but a really odd mix of them. They are some of Dan Slott's team, and then Spider-Man and Wolfman thrown in there. And they're fighting against Red She-Hulks. And Aunt Gordon, his attachment to the team, that will prove to be his downfall. That is how the baddies are ultimately able to capture him. Then we have got the Hulk, except he is depowered. He is just David Banner. And he has got his son with him, Hulk's son. And they've shown up to try and help Aunt Gordon evade the Intellectuals. But then Red She-Hulks, she's after Aunt Gordon, and her and Hulk's son, they have a big fight, which is just going on in the background. And I do think this appearance of the Avengers is a bit much, because they didn't really do out. Like the Flash or Flagman, they barely even have lines of dialogue. And Aunt Gordon, he doesn't trust David Banner. He thinks that David Banner is in league with the Intellectuals because he has been hanging out with Red Hulk. And again, his distrust of David Banner. It's how he basically ends up losing this and being caught by the baddies. So Red She-Hulks, she gets ready to capture Aunt Gordon, and his last gambit is using one of his super science ideas, a little button that assembles loads of other members of the Avengers, even though most of the ones that he has got with him aren't dying out. Here we have got Scarlett Johansson, that is Miss Marbles before they ruined her. Hawkeye and Mockingbird, Chelsea Kane. Our here, that is Captain Marbles, the real one, Monica Rambeau. War Machine, Rhodey Rhodes. Captain America, but didn't get your hopes up because it's Bucky Man as Captain America. And that hammer there, that is 4. And then we have got a big double splash page of all these characters fighting against Hulk's son, while Spider-Man and Wolfman just watch. So then what happens is Aunt Gordon, he gets captured anyway, and they all failed. David Banner, he blames the Avengers for rushing in and not trusting that he was on their side. And then we start setting up the next issue where David Banner, he has gathered together a bunch of random characters to help him oppose the Intellectuals. It's not altogether thrilling because it's not a very varied group of heroes, and the Fall of the m.o.d.o.k story, it quickly morphs into another story called World War m.o.d.o.ks, which is really bad. It's almost childlike. Every hero ends up mutated into a Hulk, and this interesting idea here with the Intellectuals capturing the most intelligent people on the planet, well, this just becomes irrelevant. And it's a shame because it is a lot more interesting than just turning Spider-Man or Wolfman into Hulk monsters. Then we have got a backup story here. It's all about Red She-Hulks, and it's trying to smooth over the edges of bad Jeff Nobal's Hulk stories. It's trying to help them make some sense, but it's Red She-Hulks, and she is shit. This is a mixed bag, really. The first 2/3 of the comic are good, the stuff with the intellectuals and Aunt Gordon, but then when that stuff is over, it is a noted step down in terms of quality. I wish they had expanded that first section for the whole comic rather than start setting up the next plot line or doing a backup story with Red She-Hulks, because really there was a lot missing from that first part. Like, we called in all those different Avengers, but like Captain Marvel's, the real one, Monica Rambeau, she didn't die out. Thor, he didn't die out. Bucky Man as Captain America, he didn't die out. There was a single double splash page of them fighting the wrong Hulk. I don't know about this one. I rate it 7 thumbs up.